Okay. So can you hear me, dear students? Please let me know if you're able to hear me. Please let me know if you're able to hear me. Here of Sakshi and Bhumika. Please let me know if you're able to hear me properly. Bhumika, Hirok, Sakshi, Pratibha, please let me know if you are able to hear me properly. Please do text me quickly so that I can begin my lesson today. Okay? So please do let me know, dear students, quickly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you mean to say you are able to hear me loud and clear, right? Okay. Uh, so, okay. Thank you. Thank you. So let's begin our lesson today. So see, we started, we ended here in our last class. The goldsmith named merchant, and the goldsmith was then made guilty about this particular crime because and then goldsmith, what did he do? Goldsmith named the merchant, and he was none other than the original owner of the house. So when the fault came to the goldsmith, he has also, like others, passed the blame on the merchant, right? And the king cannot take his independent decision, so he is also very much not strict in his decision. So that is why he is also passing the fault from one place to another, one person to another. Now the fault has come to the merchant. Okay, and merchant very smartly said, "See, it was not me, but my father who ordered the jewelry." Right. So if you can recall, dear students, it so happened that there was a burglary in the house of a merchant. Okay, and then in the process of the burglary, while the burglar or the thief was entering the wall and entering the house through a hole in the wall collapsed, and the thief died. Actually, the burglar died. Okay, and then the matter went to the king. Then one is blaming the other. Okay, the merchant said that it is the work of the magician who has made this. Magician said, no, it's not me, it's somebody else. Then the goldsmith said, the dancing girl said, it's not. Magician said, it is the dancing girl who has distracted me. And then when dancing girl was summoned or called before the king, the dancing girl said, it is not me, but the goldsmith who did not deliver my jewelry on time. As a result, I had to come to the street, and when I came to the street, every time I came to the street, the magician got distracted. Then the king again changed his decision, and then the king said, okay, then you summon the goldsmith. And when goldsmith came in front of the king, then goldsmith said, it is not me who is responsible, it is the rich merchant who is responsible, because I got the order from their house. Okay, and I had to make some jewelry for them urgently. Therefore, I could not deliver the dancing girl on her jewelry. Okay, then the gold the rich merchant was called. The merchant is not alive. His son is alive. So this is how the fault is passing from one person to another. Okay, the fault is passing from one person to another. Okay, so now let's see what happens. But the king consulted his minister and ruled decisively. It is true, your father is the true murderer. He is dead, but somebody must be punished in his place. So when then and then when the merchant, when the this merchant was called, He said, "It was my father who ordered the jewelry. It's not me. It's not me." Okay. Then the king consulted his minister, and then again he ruled minister, and he said, "It is true that your father is the true murderer. He is dead, but somebody must be punished in his place. You have inherited everything from that criminal father of yours, his riches as well as his sins. I knew at once, even when I first set eyes on you, that you were at the root of his horrible crime. You must die." Then he said, "You have inherited everything from your father. That is why you are equally responsible. So you have to now you have to bear the punishment." And he ordered a new stake to be made ready for the execution. Stake means the place where the execution or hanging takes place. So he ordered a new stake, right? He ordered a new stake for the for execution. As the servant sharpened the stake and got it ready for the final impaling of the criminal, it occurred to the minister that the rich merchant was somehow too thin to be properly executed on the stake. Right? He appealed to the king's common sense. The king too worried about it. "What shall we do?" he said, when suddenly it struck him that all they needed to do was to find a man fat enough to fit the stake. So when the stake was made for hanging, okay, so when the stake was made for hanging, this rich merchant was somehow very thin. As a result, he was not coming into the that particular uh, you know noose, we can say. This is also called noose, where the neck of the person who is has to be hanged shall come. Okay, the neck has to come inside the noose. Okay, so the noose or the stake which was made by the people in his kingdom in his kingdom was too small actually. I mean too fat actually, too big. Therefore, the neck of the rich merchant did not come inside the nose or stake because the rich merchant was thin enough. Therefore, thin enough, yes. But the nose was or stake was fat enough or big enough. Therefore, they started thinking, looking for a man in the kingdom who is fat enough to come inside the stake. Okay. The servants were immediately sent all over the town looking for a man who would feed the stake, and their eyes fell on the disciple who had fattened himself for months on bananas and rice and wheat and ghee. "What have I done wrong? I am innocent. I am sannyasi," he cried. "That may be true, but it is the royal decree that we should find a man fat enough to feed the stake. What have I done wrong? I am innocent. I am sannyasi," he cried. Okay, so one person was called. Okay, one person was found in the kingdom. Okay, who is that person? Let's find out who is that person. Disciple. Okay, so he's a disciple, dear students. He's a disciple.
Disciple of who was left out in the kingdom. His guru has left, but the disciple did not leave because he was very much greedy about taking cheap food. So he became so fat after eating many things with cheap price tag. Okay, he was eating. Therefore, he became very fat. So he was selected for hanging actually, right? Understood? He was selected for hanging. The servants are immediately sent all over the town, but the thing was found. Okay, all over the town looking for a man who would feed the stake, and their eyes fell on the disciple. This disciple who had fattened himself for months on bananas and rice and wheat and ghee. What have I done wrong? I'm innocent. I'm sannyasi, he cried. That may be true, but it is the royal decree that we should find a man fat enough to feed the stake. Okay, so they said when they have caught Sannyasi, that minister, he was saying, "What have I done wrong?" and all that. I'm innocent. I am Sannyasi. All this. Okay, then he said, "No, it is the order from the king. Whoever is fat has to be caught, and you are the only fat person in the kingdom whom we can catch." He remembered or whom we have found. He remembered his wise guru's words. That time the minister remembered, this is a city of fools. You don't know what they will do next. While he was waiting for death, he prayed to his guru in his heart, asking him to hear his cry wherever he was. So when he was summoned in front of the king and he was given going to be hanged, that time he remembered his guru. The guru saw everything in a vision. The guru being spiritually very much enlightened, so he could see everything in his vision. He had magical powers. He could see far and he could see the future as he could see the present and the past. He arrived at once to save his disciple who had got himself into such a scrape through love of food. Scrape means to such a bad situation through love of food. As soon as he arrived, he scolded the disciple and told him something in a whisper. So his guru came to the kingdom which he left a few days before. So he came back in order to save his disciple. As soon as he arrived, he scolded the disciple and told him something in a whisper. Then he went to the king and addressed him, "O wisest of kings." Now Guru will try to convince the king not to hang the disciple. Okay, so oh wisest of kings, who is greater, the Guru or the disciple? Of course, the Guru, no doubt about it. Why do you ask? The king is asking the Guru, why do you ask such things? Then put me to the stake first. Put my disciple to death after me. Then the Guru has found a trick. So he said to the king, first put me to the stake first. First hang me, and after my hanging, you hang my disciple also. Okay. When the disciple heard this, he understood and began to clamor, "Me first." He said, "Nee." The now disciple could understand the trick of his guru. So disciple said, "No, no, me first. You brought me here first. Put me to death first, not him." The guru and the disciple now got into a fight about who should go first. The king was puzzled. The king was very much puzzled by this behavior. He asked the guru, "Why do you want to die? We chose him because we needed a fat man for the stake." Okay, so the king became puzzled why the king became puzzled. Let me tell you, the king became puzzled. The king became puzzled because he was not able to understand why there is a fight between the minister, between the disciple and the guru. Because like guru wanted to go for hanging first. Is there any person in the world who would like to go for facing death first? He will be the last person to go for death. But here in this case, the king wants to go to die first. So he was very confused. The guru was the king was very confused by this behavior of guru and his disciple fighting with one another or each other about who will die first. Therefore, he asked the guru, "Why do you want to die? We chose." Okay, he asked the guru, "Why do you want to die? We chose him." He means we chose your disciple. The king said to the king is telling this to the priest. Sorry, king. The king is telling this to the guru. The king is telling this to the guru. Why are you fighting with him? I have selected your disciple for hanging because he is fat enough, and we needed a fat man for the stake. You shouldn't ask me such questions. Put me to death first," replied the guru. Guru became angry with the king and said, "No, no, you should not ask me this question now. I don't want to listen such question answers. I would like myself to be put to death first." Okay, so that is how guru is trying to sort of die first ahead of his disciple, right? The guru and the disciple now got into a fight about who should go first. The king was puzzled by this behavior. The king was puzzled by this behavior. Okay, what was the king puzzled by? The king was puzzled by the behavior of the guru. He asked the guru, "Why do you want to die? We have selected your disciple because he is a fat person, and we needed a fat person to die." Then he said, "You shouldn't ask me such questions. Put me to death first." Why? There is some mystery here. As a wise man, you must make me understand. There is some mystery here. As a wise man, you must make me understand. As a wise man, you must make me understand. The king is asking the guru to explain him why he is fighting with his disciple to die first. Okay, the king gave him his solemn word. The guru took him aside. Now the guru will manipulate. He took the king aside out of the servant's earshot, okay, and whispered to him, okay, do you know why you want to die right now? The two of us, we have been all over the world, but we have never found a city like this or a king like you. That stake is the stake of the God of justice. It is new. It has never had a criminal on it. Whoever dies on it first will be reborn as the king of this country, and whoever goes next will be the future minister of this country. We are sick of our ascetic life. Ascetic means like सन्यासी का जो life होता है ना, सन्यासी, the life of the spiritual man, the life of the holy man. Okay, so the guru is telling, manipulating actually his answer. He is trying to convince the king that he and his minister, he and his disciple, both were sick of this spiritual holy man's life. Therefore, they would like to die first, so that whoever will die first will become the king in his next birth, and whoever will die second will be the minister in his next birth. That is why there is a quarrel between the king and the minister as to who is going to die first. So this is what he is telling the king, but actually it is a lie. He is trying to manipulate so that his disciple is saved and he is also saved. Then the king would obviously love to be the king once again in his next life. Therefore, the king will neither allow the guru nor the disciple to die first. Right. So that is the trick actually. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves as king and minister for a while. Now keep your word, my lord, and put us to death. Me first, remember. The king was now thrown into deep thought. He did not want to lose the kingdom to someone else in the next round of life. He needed time, so he ordered the execution postponed to the next day and talked in secret with his minister. So now the king, one thought has come in the mind of the king. The king now the king did not want to lose his kingdom, right, to someone else in the next birth. Therefore, he has postponed the execution process, the hanging process for that day. Okay, and he wanted to discuss with his minister regarding what they should do about the hanging process. So, what is said afterwards to the guru and his disciple? He said, "It is not right for us to give over the kingdom to others in the next life. Let us go on the stake ourselves, and we will be reborn as king and minister again." Holy man, do not tell lies, he said, and the minister agreed. Now, the king did not want to lose his kingdom in his next birth, because he is a king in this birth, so in the next birth also he wanted to be a king, right? And minister, his disciple, would become the king. So this is a trick on the part of the king in order to convince the on the part of the guru to convince the king that that whoever will die first will be the king, and whoever will die the next will be the minister. So the king and his minister have believed this sentences, this statement of the guru, by saying that holy men do not tell lies. Okay, and the minister immediately agreed to the words of the king, because they have a good impression about the guru. They thought that guru will never lie and he is a holy man, so whatever he will say will be correct. Therefore, the king and the minister did not want to lose their kingdom as king and minister respectively in their next part. Therefore, they did not allow the holy man, that is the guru and his disciple, to be hanged the next day. So what they said, he told the executioners, "We will send the criminals tonight. When the first man comes to you, put him to death first. Then do the same to the second man. Those are my orders. Don't make any mistake. Okay. Then the king sent a message to the executioners. Executioners means those who are in charge of hanging. He has spoken to the executioners. The king, he sent a message that who will come to will send the criminals tonight, and whoever will come to you first, you give him hanging, and whoever will come next, you give him hanging. Okay, according to my instruction. This next, okay, whoever will come first will go for hanging first, whoever will come second will go for hanging second. So this is how, this is the order that you have to maintain, and you cannot forget this, right? Then do the same to the second man also. Those are my orders, don't make any mistake. That night the king and his minister went secretly to the prison. That night what happened? The king and his minister went secretly. That night, the king and his minister went secretly to the prison. Went secretly to the prison. And then released the guru and the disciple, disguised themselves as the two, and as arranged beforehand with loyal servants, were taken to the stake and promptly executed. Okay. So you understand the trick now, what they did? The king and the minister at night, they went to the prison, and guru and the disciple were kept in the prison because they were prisoners. They, one of them was supposed to be hanged, right? So as the guru has manipulated with his intelligence, so now king and minister themselves would like to be the king and the minister in their next birth. Therefore they have come secretly at night in the prison, released the guru and the disciple, and then they have become, the king and the minister themselves have become guru and the disciple respectively, in the shape of the guru and the disciple. Okay, they have changed the clothes, the king and the minister, and became the duplicate guru and disciple, and they went to the executioners, and executioners also executed them. Okay, in the sequence, first the king came, second the minister came, right? And this is how the story comes to an end. So this is the example, the greatest example of how fools were those king, or those king and the minister, right? So this is how, dear students, our story comes to an end. So you might have got some examples of the fact that the king and his minister were so much, so much fool, right? So that's how the story comes to an end, dear students. Okay. When the bodies were taken down to be thrown to crows and vultures. Okay, some few lines are left. You see, when the bodies were taken, to be thrown to crows and vultures, the people panicked. They saw before them the dead bodies of the king and the minister. The city was in confusion. All night they mourned and discussed the future of the kingdom. Some people suddenly thought of the guru and the disciple and caught up with them as they were preparing to leave town unnoticed. We people need a king and a minister, said someone. Others agreed. They begged the guru and the disciple to be their king and the minister. It did not take many arguments to persuade the disciple, but it took longer to persuade the guru. They finally agreed to rule the kingdom of the foolish king and the silly minister on the condition that they could change all the old laws. Okay, there was a condition. They thought that now, see, their guru and the minister both are dead. Therefore, the people of the kingdom decided to make someone the king and the minister. So they could find that guru and the disciple to be the appropriate people for being the king and the minister themselves. The guru did not agree initially, but he agreed with the condition that he has to change the night and day system of the kingdom, and like day should be day, night should be night. It's not like uh, the people will work at night and sleep at day. So the people of the kingdom agreed to that decision, that day will be day, night will be night. And then finally the king agreed to the decision of being the king, and both the guru and his disciple became the king and the minister respectively afterwards. From then on, night would again be night and day would again be day, and you could get nothing for a rupee. You shall not get anything for 1 paisa, right? Everything will have different price tag. Every commodity will have different price tag. You shall not get every commodity at 1 paisa, right? So they have changed the system now. It became like any other place. Now that the foolish guru and his disciple are both dead, therefore their system of administration has also changed. Now it has become the administration of other place, like day is considered to be day and night is considered to be night, and nothing will cost the same. Every commodity will have a different price tag. So the guru and the disciple, being the king and the minister, will now change the entire administrative setup of the kingdom, and will now govern the state, or govern the kingdom in a normal manner, in an usual manner, like any other place. So, dear students, this is how the story comes to an end. You can. This is the this is the answered equations. So, answered equations you can write from my website, okay. But today I would like to give you a worksheet, okay. So please do this worksheet, okay. I would like to give you a listening worksheet. I shall send you the link. I shall send you the link on the Google Classroom. After the class gets over, I shall send you a link today. So please follow the link and do the exercise. So as I told you before, you shall have, as I told you before, dear students, you shall have two notebooks. One is for English literature, another is for writing, grammar, listening, reading skill, okay. Reading, writing, grammar, and listening skill, okay. So you shall have two English notebook. One is exclusively for literature, another is for writing, grammar, reading, and listening activity. So the second notebook you can make 200 page, okay. So anyway, so how will you do? You will do this exercise activity on your English writing notebook, not literature notebook, English writing notebook you will do, and then convert all the pages into a single PDF file and upload your answer in Google Classroom, okay. You shall upload your answer in Google Classroom and convert all the images that you have written the answers on your writing notebook into a single PDF file, and then upload on Google Classroom, right. So dear students, I show you how to do it, okay. Let me show you how to do it. So you see, this is the listening worksheet, okay. I shall send you the link on the Google Classroom so that you can click the link and go to this page, okay. After you go to this page, you can see podcast name is given Valley of Kashmir. Another worksheet, podcast name is given how can the teens change the world, and then how to make the best use of time, right. How to make the best use of time. So what you need to do is you do these three podcasts together. You do these three podcasts. How will you do it? See, when you go to this page, you shall click on this link, listen our podcast here. See, listen our podcast here. Can you see here? You see here. So you shall click your podcast like this. It will take you to the home page of the podcast. Okay, now you can see start listening page is opening. Start listening. See, I'm demonstrating you how to go there to the listening page. See, start listening is there, right? You can see here start listening. Okay, then you click on start listening. When you click on start listening, it will take you to a page where you have options of listening from different platforms. You can listen from the website itself, then you can listen from Amazon Music. Here you see the icon is given here. If you have the Amazon Music uh, app available with you, or installed on your device, you can straight away go to Amazon Music uh, app. Otherwise, you can listen from Spotify also. You can see here Spotify icon is given. If you have the Spotify podcast app installed on your device, you can listen from Spotify app. Then these are Google Podcast, GeoSound, everywhere you can listen to the this podcast of mine. And if you do not have any of these application installed, you can directly listen to my website now. See, play now. I'm clicking on play now. So if you click on play now, you'll straight away go to the website where you will find the listening files uploaded. See, listening files. So what is the worksheet one? You see, let me show you. See, worksheet one is Valley of Kashmir. Name of the worksheet one is Valley of Kashmir. So when you go here, you scroll down and you find Valley of Kashmir. See, this is the Valley of Kashmir. So this Valley of Kashmir, you've got to click and listen to what is said there, and then do the worksheet. Right? You listen and do the worksheet. First you listen first time. Second time when you listen, while listening, you can do the worksheet on your English notebook. Right? So you will click here Valley of Kashmir, you'll click here with your earphones. You can click, you can plug in your earphones so that you can listen to it clearly. So you can click on Valley of Kashmir, you can click like this. So it will open like this, and then you can listen. Next is second one. You see, second worksheet name is How Can Teens Change the World? How can teens change the oh yes, 12:15 na, right. Yes. So second podcast name is How Can Teens Change the World? So you please check here. See, it is opened. So how can teens change the world? See, here you'll find how can a teen change the world? How can a teen change the world? You can find. So you'll click here and you'll go to the podcast page. You can listen with your earphones plugged in, and while you listen it, before you listen, dear students, on your English writing notebook, write down the worksheet. Write down the worksheet questions. Otherwise, where will you get the questions from? So it is better first to write down questions on your English writing notebook, and then you listen to the file, because while listening you can also look at the questions, and whenever you find the answers, you immediately write with pencil. Okay, and when you make the final draft, you write with pen. Right? This is how you have to do the work. Okay. So dear students, I have displayed you. I hope you understood. You understood how to do it. I suppose you understood how to do it.